everyone. Hi, Taylor.
Hello, how are you today, Bridget?
I'm very well, thanks. I was just seeing on the internet that
Huh?
it was a comedian who said that instead of calling him the president, we should now call Donald Trump the ice dispenser. And I thought, I
You
am
know,
stealing that right
he's not
now.
wrong. We
Yeah,
use them for everything, you
right.
know? Now
Including the
they're,
job of TSA.
which I'm not sure what kind of crash course in training that they
Yeah.
got to be a TSA agent. I know they didn't get a lot to be an ICE agent from what we've seen on the news and how they kind of handle things. But I'm just curious, like TSA agents are trained to look for particular red flags,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and what to spot. And yeah, yeah, I don't know how safe I feel with them doing that job. But then on the other hand, I guess the pessimistic side of me, I don't know how I feel about the SS guarding or who gets on and off of airplanes. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
little. Yeah, I think we've crossed the line there.
Yeah.
If we can fund ICE, then we should be able to fund TSA. But what do
Right.
I know? I'm just some queer in Alabama.
And
But
you haven't been flying lately, so you can tell. Yeah,
no,
because I've seen
yeah.
people commenting at bigger airports, like some
Oh,
person
for
was like
sure.
in Atlanta, and that's because of shutdown. Because among other things, and all the craziness, you may have forgotten that there's a partial shutdown going on. Right? It's like, oh yeah, right, that too.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that's still going on.
yeah,
So,
and for some
yeah.
reason, TSA is funded under a different branch than ICE, and so that's why ICE still has money to pay its people, and TSA doesn't. Whatever. But bless them because a lot of folks who are not being paid right now are still showing up for work. Because if
Right.
they didn't, people couldn't fly anywhere, and that's
At
just not
all.
something they're prepared to do. And so they go to work not being paid, and but not everybody does it, and you can't blame them. But still,
And
so the
not at all,
lineups
because
have
this
been
isn't the
insane.
first time.
Right.
Like every 3 months we're going through this, they're losing money. Like they're bailing left, right, and center. But because who would want a
Mhm.
job that's that unpredictable when you've got to
Right.
provide for
The
yourself,
family.
family, and
Right.
in an economy that's this tough.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
My little car, I went to
Mhm.
fill up with gas, and it's just got a 12-gallon tank, and it like I stopped it at $50 and it still wasn't full. Now granted, it has to have the
The
premium
premium.
fuel,
Right.
but
Mhm.
still my tiny little
Mhm.
car, and I was just like, y'all have hurt my
How
faith.
much is it a
It's
gallon now in Huntsville?
the
Roughly a bit
premium's
over.
five and some
Ooh,
change.
that's yeah,
Right.
that's serious. Yeah, we're getting close to
Right.
$2 a liter here, so that's yeah, so
Okay.
people are freaking out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the president today said that after saying that there was nobody to talk to on the Iranian side, said that there had been talking and so much good talking, so much winning with people we didn't know existed apparently over the
Yeah.
weekend, and now there's been talking. So I don't know, I'm lost, but apparently now we're
Who can keep
suspending
up?
the excursion for a few days. Anyway, it's just and like I don't know, I don't know. We keep saying every week, like this time for sure, this is gonna get people to
This
wake
is
up and say, like, okay, out, you're out, like done, like let's get somebody else. But no, every week we just hear with some more nonsense, and I just don't know, man.
it's
I don't know.
it just gets crazier by the
Yeah,
day, literally. And
yeah,
we unplug for the weekends. We don't watch any kind of news over the
right.
weekend, unless it's um
Like the Oscars,
something
which is not
drastic.
really like news, but
It's not news, it's entertainment, but like
eh,
no local news, no world news,
mhm,
unless it's, something horrific, and then it's all over social media and we
mhm.
would see it that way. But so I really don't know where we're standing with all the craziness in Iran, but I will catch up this evening, I'm sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Meanwhile, in Alabama, there's some new
Uh-huh.
development. So we've been talking about this fellow Sonny. Sorry, now I forget his last name, but the guy who was
Yes.
on death row for a death of somebody when he wasn't the one who had done the killing. Anyway, so he got his sentence got commuted to life in prison last week, as we talked about. But what came out is it's because that's the thing about death. I mean, in Canada, we don't have the death penalty; it was abolished like when I was a little kid. But one thing that prisoners get when they are going to be executed is the last meal, right?
Yes.
and they can have whatever the fuck they want because they're dying
Right.
anyway.
It's
Like,
the last
you know,
meal.
it's
Yes.
the last meal. So this guy had this, and I just love it because it is so it's sweet and heartbreaking at the same time. But he ordered a bunch of stuff that would kill him basically just to eat this. So it was
Just go.
barbecue chicken, banana cake with ice cream, and sweet tea, and it's such a normal meal.
Right.
Like,
And and it makes you wonder like where that came from. Was the banana cake something that a family member had made with him growing up? What kind of memories are tied into these last
mm,
requests? Because I would imagine that's kind of emotional.
oh,
It's your last meal. What do you want? Like, my grandmother made amazing fried chicken. I would want, you know, some kind of homemade fried chicken. It's like, how do you choose?
mm,
But
shrimp and grits
she
with
did
blue
the right
cheese.
thing
I don't
and
know,
and let
something.
him
Yeah.
off
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
For sure, yes. But it's just, yeah, that news came out and they asked him. And then, so you have dogs, and I've met your dogs, and they're wonderful
Yes.
dogs. And Prince, and sorry, I forget the other one's name.
Anakin.
Oh, thank you. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. So, what do you think of this new proposed Alabama law that could get people jail time if they improperly tether their dogs?
I am all for it. Like if you can't take care of a dog, don't have a
Yeah,
dog.
right.
This isn't the rural South. I mean, it is the rural South, but it's not the 50s. We just don't tie them up outside. They're not just hound dogs in the yard. Um, it's living here in the city, you can't
Mhm.
just tie them up anyway, but you've got to have fences and
Right.
it's super hot. It's just take care of your dogs.
Hmm.
I am the first to call the Humane Society the pound when I feel like a dog it doesn't have adequate shade. There's no housing.
Hmm.
It looks emaciated outside. I can't stand it.
Right. No, for sure.
Like it's just don't because
It's not
those are
great.
my babies, right?
Mhm.
You got to, and if you can't, like, I mean, the dog can be a guard dog inside the house as well
Mhm.
as outside,
Mhm. When I went
Mine let
to,
us
yeah, sorry.
know when they hear anything.
Yeah, well, and they do. I know your dogs do. Uh, when I went to Mobile on my amazing epic road trip in November, I went to the
Yes.
USS Alabama, which is this wonderful place where you can just go and tour the boat. And there's also a, I forget the name of the submarine, and there's a museum and all this. But they have a bit of a kennel outside that's set aside in the shade because they don't want people to leave their dogs in the car while they visit the exhibits.
Right.
So there's this like big kennel, and it's in the shade, and there's those massive, and I went and it was November, so it was not especially warm, so those big fans were not running, but because it didn't need to. But for summer they would have this big, fans
Yes.
and water, and they were nice and airy so that you don't wind up leaving your dog. And I believe it's free, or it's very affordable. It's a couple of dollars maybe for a day to put your dog in, and they're big enough, and so the dog has room to walk around. And I saw a family put a dog there while they were going to see the exhibit. And of course, the poor dog had separation anxiety. It was all sad. It was terrible.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're on a road trip with your family that includes your dog or dogs, um,
It's
yeah,
helpful, because you've got to
exactly.
plan it out, your hotel, like down to
Hmm.
to everything. We've got a friend from Nashville, and everything is planned around their puppy. If it can't
Hmm.
go, they don't go. It's just that simple.
Right.
It's and if you've got the money and the means, then that's the life I would want right there with that dog. They've got it made in the shade. So yes, they shouldn't be tied up and just left outside. And I think you should go to jail.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised by how progressive that was. I mean, I thought, because you do see them.
You
Um,
hear a lot here
mhm,
of people getting busted for inhumane animal treatment, and
mhm,
having 50 or 60 dogs in and outside a
mm,
house. And you can't provide for that many dogs. You can't feed them. You can't keep it clean.
mhm.
It's just unrealistic. So
And you
just
turn, yeah,
don't collect dogs.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's not there.
Collect shoes. You
Right,
don't
or
have to
comic
feed
books,
them.
or I don't know, something.
Right.
Uh,
Anything.
I saw also in the news, 'cause I
Ah,
follow everything. There's a stunning old 100-year-old mansion in Selma.
yes.
Been to
Selma,
Selma like twice
Alabama.
in my life, and it's not very big. but
No.
it's of course historic because of that bridge and the whole march and the whole thing. Um, but this house looks really good from the pictures. Like it's
It did. I had to go on Zillow and find all of the pictures.
yeah. It's over
Um,
5,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and like a lot of historical detail. Anyway, and I'll put up pictures and a link to it in case some of our listeners and viewers want to
if
go in and
anybody's
check
trying to
it out.
move to Selma,
Or just to look at it. But it's for sale for
right,
$400,000. I was surprised.
which
I have
is
no
cheap.
idea why it's so cheap.
Well, a couple of things why.
Mhm.
Your, your average house in Selma, Alabama is about $90,000.
Right. It's not a rich place. I know. Yeah.
It's not, it's a historical place
Mhm.
for all the events that happen there. But after events like that, you don't have big industry that move in,
Right.
generations move out, things um, just kind of decay over time. And there's all kind of beautiful historic houses there that are super cheap or they're falling apart. And if you can afford to buy it, because yes, for the square footage, that is a great deal. The money to update it
Mhm.
to current standards is going to be crazy. But y- where do you work from home and then you just live in Selma, Alabama, like
Right.
with this great
Mm.
job? Like it, it's nice to visit. It's not somewhere I want to live,
Right. Yeah, I didn't
but
like
it
the
isn't.
drive when I was there. Yeah.
It's a piece of history. But in any
Right.
city, like in Huntsville, it would be a million plus if that
Oh,
house
of course.
was
Yeah.
sitting
Mhm.
here. But there's a little more to do in Huntsville. I guess
It's
it's about
yeah.
location, location,
Right.
location. Like you
That's
couldn't give
why.
me that house in Montgomery, Alabama. I don't care for Montgomery either, but
Mhm.
I'm a North Alabama kid, I guess.
Hmm. It's like when Detroit after the riots in '69 and the city started emptying out,
Yeah,
and then you could find 10, 20. It's much better now. Like it's picked up a great deal, especially downtown. It's a wonderful place now. I love Detroit. Um, but for a while there, you could buy houses for like $1, right?
right.
And
It
they
was
were
rough.
very, very rough. But for people, some people say, you know what, I want this piece of history, and I'm gonna invest and build
Absolutely.
it back up and then live there. So anyway, if anybody's
We,
interested, I'll put the link so we can help the
yes,
the real estate industry in Selma, Alabama, and do a little bit
right.
for humanity, I guess.
It is a beautiful home. I would love some of the light fixtures for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to move any further south than I am.
Mm-hmm. All right. What else is new this week for you?
Oh, we've got an estate sale. I'm starting a commissioned work. So just chugging along daily
All
as it
right.
comes. So
We'll be able to see that
what's
work
going on
once it's
in
done, right?
Canada? Yeah, anything
Oh,
good?
well, it's spring, so it smells of shit. Because here in the
Oh,
winter, people send their dogs outside, don't always go after the dog to pick in their yard, right? Not if you're out in public place, then you have to pick it up. But in your yard, nobody can. I mean, it's your yard, right?
yeah,
And once the snow starts to melt in the spring, then
it's thawed.
right. So we're
Well,
in that stage now.
you just can't smell anything here because like you just feel the pollen in
I hear
your
the
nose.
pollen is
That's
pretty
like you
brutal this
feel
week.
it on your face. It's that time of
Yeah.
year here. So
Mm-hmm. Right. No, we're starting to see some sun. I went running in the sun today, and it felt very, very
nice, a
good. I
little
only had like
glow,
one hat.
looks
Yeah, it
lovely.
was great.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're chugging along
yay.
here too. It was March break last week, and now the kids are back in school. Oh, and
Um, you get a
yeah,
little peace
so
and
lots of
quiet in the
work.
office, and
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah. All right,
So, well, we will see what happens this week, and we'll tell them
talk
all
to you
about it
next week.
next week.
All right, excellent. Be
All
well.
right. Have a great week.
Bye.